Hey there, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. This is Card Making Frenzy Round 2. If you recall, I did another one earlier where I basically am making cards using items, papers, just random stuff that are on my desktop. I tried to organize it a little bit, and so I put papers like in one little area, embellishments and other thing like that. I have a lot. So on this one, I cut rectangles that are 1 3/4 inch by 2.5 inches, and then I cut them diagonally from the top left to the bottom right, and some from the top right to the bottom left. And then these pages are double-sided, so I was able to kind of turn them around and mix them around to let them work to what I needed. But basically I just attached them onto a regular A2 card base. Now look at how pretty that is. So now I'm going to go through all my like random stuff. I'm going to call them focal images, and I'm just trying to figure out what is going to work with this color scheme. And then I see this picture or this drawing, this stamped image, colored image that I did who knows when, and it matches perfectly because of her teal blouse. I really want that happy birthday cutout to work. I don't end up using it on this card, but I use it on another one. So basically I'm just going through, again, just kind of matching up things and making cards. So you saw me fumbling with that Tombow tape runner. I'm telling you, I have been having the worst luck with those, and it drives me absolutely crazy because half the time you're rolling it out and then the tape runner gets all mixed up and you're just wasting your adhesive, and it's something we all need, and they're super expensive, and it just makes me so angry. And I don't like using my huge ATG gun for cards. I know it's weird, but just because it just seems so big and bulky, I like to use a smaller one or liquid adhesive, which I ended up doing for most of this card. Now here's another little adhesive thing. This is a sheet of very small, tiny micro, I guess, dots of adhesive, and that you do exactly what I'm doing. This is supposed to be for like just little fussy images that are really kind of hard to use, like your standard double-sided tape or even glue, because they're just so fine and delicate. And you put it on there just like what I was doing. You press that cover seal over the top, and you notice every single one of these embellishments I've been putting on that right hand corner, and all of them still have adhesive on it. So there's so much adhesive there, and this is something I bought from the expo. I was really excited about this, and I've used it a couple more times besides this card. So you saw me kind of fussing around. At first I was going to use that little teal flower that's over there on that bottom right. I decided against it, and I'm just going to stamp this little sentiment. It says it's party time, and I'm going to use a 1-inch punch it out, and then I'm going to mat it with a 1 1/4 inch punch with a kind of like a teal, not teal, oh my goodness, tan, brown, whatever you want to call it, color, because I thought this was very earthy color, and I thought it really looked well, and it didn't clash so much with those little leaves that I adhered earlier. But isn't that so fun? So as I'm doing this, I realized that punch probably wasn't really sharp over there on that one side, so I just grabbed the ink pad and I just rub the ink pad over the edges of that, and I also even use a black marker to do some other areas that just weren't quite clear or black in the background. But this is card 1, super simple. My main concern was trying to use up some papers to cover the card base, and then, like I said, going through my focal images and seeing what matches and seeing what works. I did have to pull out some stamps, which you just saw me do with this one, and also some other cards, because I didn't have any stamped sentiments on my desktop. I had a sticker full of sentiments, but they're all gold, and gold isn't always appropriate for some things. So right now this is just the card front. It's not actually the card, and this is what I'm making on all of these. So this is card number 2, and I had this really pretty ocean paper, which I'm showing right now, and I knew I did have that one sentiment that said "Get well soon," WHALE. Very punny. I love puns. And because one of those papers had that beautiful whales, I wanted to do something with that. I'm sure I could have figured something out if I really would have spent a little bit more time on it, but I just couldn't figure something out. Well, then I remembered I also had some Cricut cutouts over there in another little pile. I'm telling you, people, I got a lot of stuff on my desk. So if you follow my channel, if you're a subscriber of my channel, you know that we just redid a whole bunch of stuff in our scrap room. or AKA the command center. And so I was really trying to organize. I have a lot of extra space on my desk now because we put in a bunch of new shelves, the Kallax system by IKEA. And so instead of just dumping all those scraps of papers and just random stuff, I really wanted to use as much as I could. I ended up putting this card horizontally, but I don't even know if I show it because there's some of the stuff where I thought I was filming and I wasn't, and you know how that goes. But it's basically everything that you see here. I just use some paper to create a background, and then use that oval and then put the whale over there on that. Same with this one, thought I was filming, wasn't. This is card 3. So this green piece is actually 3 3/4 by 5. That white is 4 by 5 1/4. And again, I'm working on the card tops. And then these, I don't even know. I've never seen this paper before, I swear. But it was on my desk. So I'm not even sure where I got it. But it's double-sided, and you can see how it's those diamonds, harlequin, whatever they're called, on one side, and then like a text print on the other. I love this card. Now, it wasn't long enough to fit on the card, but you see how I just cut it in half because this bird that was already stamped and colored in was on my desk. And I just grabbed this is a 1/4 inch paper, circle punch, and I used the edge to guide to make sure that I had it right. Sorry about that. I bumped into my little gooseneck phone holder or camera holder, and some twine. So look at those notches. Aren't those so fun? I love that. But I used the punch as a guide, so I made sure that it was straight on both sides. And I just eyeballed like about a halfway point of the circle, again, on both sides. I did cut this down to be 3 3/4 because originally this is 4 inches. And I didn't want it to cover everything. So I just had it go from the green to green, I guess, on the edges. And then I just used some foam adhesive. I probably would have used a different foam adhesive, but this is on my desk, and this is kind of my thing. I'm trying to really work on what's on my desk. And I just, peeled those strips right on it and then placed it right there on the card front. Isn't this so pretty? I absolutely love it. That bird is probably one of my favorite stamps. It was given to me by my sister-in-law. It's a long story. Her name is Rubber Paws, or she went by Rubber Paws. That wasn't her birth name. And unfortunately, she passed away years ago. Beautiful rubber stamper, artist, really. And we were lucky enough to get a lot of her products. So a lot of my items are from her. So anyhow, so this is the next card. I decided I was going to try to do a windmill card. I was just guessing on the sizes. These original squares, I believe, are 2 inches, way too big. I end up cutting them down to 1 1/4 inch, and you'll see me in a minute. So basically you need 4 of one kind of paper and, 2 sets of 4 of 2 different pieces of paper. So one is here and one is that green. I'm placing this, what looks like a terracotta color. This is actually the back side. And then you cut one more. I just happen to use a green one because I had, like I said, scrap paper, right? And you use that to kind of hold together those 4 pieces. I'm going to turn it over right now. And then each of those other squares with the other color, you're going to slip them in the middle of those. And that's what creates the windmill. Now, luckily, I used my mat because that really helped me with the alignment of keeping the each pinwheel straight. So again, you can see me, and I'm just lining it up with the mat, the measurements on the mat. But basically, you do that on all 4 edges, and before that glue stick can dry, you want to do that pretty quickly, and do not use a permanent adhesive because you need to be able to open it up and slip those pieces in. I don't know if the colors that I chose were really a good combination, but I was okay with it at the end. I really like that gold, or not gold, it's rose gold cactus paper. It's so beautiful. Again, when I made that, I'm like, oh gosh, that's huge. So I did cut those down to 1 1/4 inch, and then it just basically redid the whole thing. And then you go back with different kind of adhesive. You can use liquid adhesive like I'm doing here, or any kind of like double-sided tape, and then just make sure that all those pieces are adhered together. And then I wasn't sure what I was doing next. This is the container that's holding all of that scrap paper that's on the side of my desk. I swear, I don't even know where it fit. This is probably why I used to have just a very small 12 by 12 inch square to work with. But I grabbed some colors that were more on the orange side because I thought it really coordinated well with that copper. That's it, not rose gold, copper. That's what I should have said earlier. And this one right here that I'm cutting, it's actually like a tone on tone, and it's so pretty. It's sometimes you can see it. I can tell by the camera, but there's other times where it really just looks like an orange or like a salmon kind of color. But it really is a tone on tone. It's got a really beautiful pattern. So I thought that the pinwheel would look good on a square shape versus a rectangle, and that's why I cut it down for that. And then that one opening on the bottom, I was going to put a white piece of paper there to put a sentiment. So because of that, I decided to mat this pinwheel, and I just use scissors, and I'm just kind of eyeballing. I know it's not completely perfect, but I'm okay with that. Just using my scissors to, like I said, cut around it and have a little border. And that, to me, helps it coordinate with, first of all, that white background that's on the card front, and then also this white strip that is going to hold a sentiment. And I don't believe I show it here, but you will see it at the end when I show off all the different cards. But I do end up liking it because I thought those oranges really coordinated well with that copper. I did notice that it did need something, and I will be honest, these cactus stickers were not on my desktop, but I didn't really have anything that I thought coordinated, so I went ahead and just grabbed them from my stash. Here's a quick flip through of the rest of the cards I made. Super fun, super cute. All the information and measurements will be also on my blog. I'll have a link down below in the information box. So please make sure you like this video if you like the video. Also hit that subscribe button. I do 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. The rest is whatever it is I'm creating in the Command Center, which is the name of my craft room and also my blog. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.